realistic are these ideas? If it was that easy to fix the housing crunch this country has been experiencing, wouldn't we have done so already?
I don't know if I would go that far. This has been a Congress, one of many in a long succession that seems immune to pursuing the practical solution that's right in front of them. I mean, this is also a Congress that saw child poverty halve under its watch and then double again. So to say that the obvious solution would have been, enacted already is a big stretch for how unproductive Congress has been for the past 15 years. However, your question about whether or not this is a practical solution, I think the policy has to meet two needs in terms of being successful as economic policy. It has to meet the, sentiment of people where they are, and it has to fix the problem. And that can be a very difficult line to walk because Americans are convinced that the reason why they have home prices is because investors are buying up almost all of the existing housing stock. That actual effect on prices is limited, but it's something that Americans want to see action on. And I can understand, pursuing that policy, even if it wouldn't necessarily change the housing market, if it would change how people felt about the housing market.
So what about the kind of policy ideas we just heard J.D. Vance talking about? This idea, and we've heard it from Donald Trump as well, if you want to fix higher prices, drill, baby, drill. It's about unlocking energy specifically, even though we do know right now the U.S. is pumping a record amount of oil and gas. What would that actually solve, Kathryn? Do you see a through line from energy into housing?
Not as obvious as he's making it to be. I think that housing suffers from an array of issues related to financing at the start, how materials have been hit by the inflation crisis. Sometimes I've heard people speak more clearly about the effect of the housing crisis 15 years ago and how that has had, a generational effect on the production of housing in the U.S. because it doesn't turn on a dime. I mean, deciding to invest and build in homes is a pretty long process. So I don't know if just energy costs would come down to a clear problem. I mean, we have it in we have not enough supply of housing. How short we are really depends on who you ask. And the solution, I think, comes from, in part, building more housing, in part, extending the life of certain housing. What I like to tell people is that if you were to think of the solution that housing needs, it would have to look scattershot because it's not as if there's just one home that everybody in America wants to buy that's in one location, right? You need to hit various price points, various preferences for home owning and for renting. So there's no silver bullet out there for the housing market. Like if we just did this one thing, we'd all be okay. We need to pursue a lot of solutions that chip away at a big problem, but none of them are going to look like, the obvious winner.
And Kathryn, finally, if we could just widen out beyond housing to end here. I've heard economists tell me that both the proposals in housing and beyond that Donald Trump is putting forward when it comes to tax cuts and tariffs and this ideas that Kamala Harris is putting forward, which includes in part more subsidizing from the government, are going to lead to higher deficits and higher inflation. Are we going to get that either way, no matter who wins?
I think that it's a more sure problem on the Trump campaign side because they are proposing a tax cut that costs over $4 trillion. That's one decision that has to be made. And if they pass it, we are $4 trillion more in the hole. And it is a direct reduction in revenue. I mean, Harris's proposals are piecemeal, right? One could cost $500 billion, one could cost $1 trillion, but that would still be dwarfed by a single policy that Trump is completely and totally committed to. $4 trillion absolutely dwarfs any policy that Harris is proposing. And my sense would be it would be double the entirety of what she's proposing because $4 trillion over 10 years is such an incredible amount of money.